I just thought I'd do a quick one here, just not going to talk at length about these records, but I just thought I'd do a quick one showing all of the new releases that I've picked up from 2023 so far. And it's going to be a quick video because there haven't really been a lot. I've been buying a lot of records though. I've been buying a lot of records. I have failed my not ever going to have a New Year's resolution. I have mostly been buying a lot of used records. So not a ton of new releases so far this year. And I've also been very picky about what I've picked up. I've gotten in a really good habit the last a few years of streaming something first before I decide to buy it, instead of just, hey, I like that artist, I'm going to buy their record. But this is, again, just like 10 records, maybe 11, that I've picked up this year so far that are all new releases in 2023. Starting with Late Developers by Belle and Sebastian. This album was really a welcome surprise. I love this record. I think it's their best album that they've put out in a while, maybe even in over a decade. Now, it has several things that sound similar to the last album, and it's made me go back and revisit the previous record that came out last year and made me appreciate that one more. But I still, as a whole, I just like the collection of songs on this album more. I almost feel like they've kind of settled into this kind of new sound that they've kind of been working towards over the last few records and several EPs. But yeah, this is a great record. Late Developers by Belle and Sebastian. The third solo release by Heather McEntire, H.C. McEntire, from the band Mount Moriah. I will probably do extensive video on them. This is a really good album. Her previous two are really good too. This might be her best. Yeah, features Amy Ray from Indigo Girls on the song Turpentine, which I absolutely love. Another favorite is the song Soft Crook. It was self-produced, but also co-produced by Missy Thangs, who is a former member of the band Love Language, kind of a resident North Carolina musician. But yeah, this is a really good album. I recommend if you're a fan or you're a fan of that music. Seen a lot of people talk about this one, This Stupid World by Yo La Tengo. Fantastic record. I would say it kind of touches on all of these elements and sounds and styles that they've recorded over the years. But it definitely harkens back to the earlier albums a lot more. Really noisy at times, but also kind of like an emphasis on kind of motoric beats. I don't know. I think it's an outstanding record. I saw them on this tour. I might do a video on it. I don't know. I'm definitely going to do some videos on some concerts that I've seen recently. This Stupid World by Yo La Tengo. Excuse me. Hollywood Dog by the band Fixtures. This is a release on Bobo Integral. That's a label that, if you're paying attention, I've talked about quite a bit. I have a lot of their releases. They've kind of become like a kind of a favorite kind of boutique label to me personally in recent years. This is really, really good. Just kind of indie rock. Elements of power pop, but not quite. More kind of just really catchy indie rock with horns. It's like, I posted about it on Instagram, and I said it's like SST, late 80s SST records mixed with Chicago or something. But not exactly. But definitely a horn section. Really cool kind of horn section. the front runners so far for album of the year. Is it Principia or Principia? Probably Principia by En Attendant Ana, the band out of France, Paris, France. You guys have seen Sam, the Vinyl Douche, talk about this band. He's the guy that introduced them to me a couple of years ago with their previous album. So when I saw that this was coming out, I was super stoked. Got it the day of. They actually came through Charlotte and I didn't go. It was like a Wednesday night and I was feeling especially fat and old and just kind of couldn't muster up the energy to go. Probably going to be regretting that for the rest of the year. Outstanding. I think their best record to date. Some kind of krautrock influence, but also just indie pop. I think this is an outstanding record. And again, maybe my favorite. I don't know. We'll see. We're back to Bobo Integral release. This is Lachlan Denton's latest album. It's called Furnishings. Very minimal album artwork there. There you go. This is, I believe, is his second solo record. Lachlan Denton was a founding member of the collective The Ocean Party out of Australia. He has also done records with collaborative records with Emma Russack. And again, I said this, I believe this is only his second album released under his own name. The first one was a tribute to his brother, Zach, who had died, who was also a member of the Ocean Party. There's some songs that touch on that on this record as well. Other things just about kind of family and relationships, and he's really into woodworking. There's some kind of theme with that was in like the kind of the press release for this record. I think that kind of has something to do with the design here. Like this might be the emblem that you would put on the inside, like that you would burn into like your woodwork or whatever. It's just kind of a singer-songwriter, kind of indie pop record, but I recommend this again. I recommend all of these because, again, I've been very choosy about what I've bought so far this year, so I really like all of these records. Speaking of Sam the Vinyl Douche, he always recommends, dozens of albums that I would probably want to buy, but I usually act on and follow through on at least 2 or 3 of them. This is one, the Ashenden Papers. This was originally released as kind of like a series of singles, all named after like the seasons. So it was like spring, summer, fall, and winter. He put them all together on one LP, and it's called Night Walk. I think his first release was like 2010, but this was the first I'd ever heard of him, thanks to Sam, and I really enjoy this. Really good, kind of just jangle pop. The shit that Sam talks about all the time, right? It's that kind of thing. All right, 2 records that, again, I'll probably talk about more at length because I've mentioned that I'm going to do some videos on concerts that I've seen and then talk about the albums related to those artists. But yeah, boygenius, the record. Of course, everybody's talking about it. 3 artists that everybody loves: Julian Baker, Phoebe Bridgers, Lucy Dacus. They're extremely they're growing more and more in popularity as the days go by, but this is a really good record, and very rare to find these days, with 3 such strong songwriters as individuals coming together in a group and kind of a super group and it actually being a successful project. It's really, really cool. It wouldn't be a video on this channel if I didn't talk about either Uncle Tupelo or Wilco or Sunvolt or Jason Isbell. And yeah, this is the Jason Isbell album. Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. Weathervanes, again, I think I'm going to give a more detailed review in another video. But this is, I wasn't sure at first, but I've definitely come around on it more with each listen. And I think it's another really solid release by him. You almost get bored saying that every time he puts out a record. Weathervanes by Jason Isbell and the 400 unit. All right, and then one last record that I'm going to talk about, which I don't have in physical form yet. I did order it from overseas. International shipping right now is ridiculous. I mean, I'm seeing at minimum $20 a lot of times, getting up to closer to $30 on international shipping for some of these records. It's ridiculous. So I've kind of held off on some, but this one I couldn't resist because I've streamed it so many times and I think it's absolutely fantastic. Might be my favorite record of the year. It's between that one or the En Attendant Ana. Those two albums I've listened to the most so far in 2023. And this one hasn't even been out that long, but that just shows you how much I've been listening to it. It's called Unmade Beds by the band Deep Dyed. I believe it's their first full length. They did have an EP. They're based out of Hamburg, Germany. It's indie rock, but I would say kind of has like pop psych elements in it. More kind of like modern distorted guitars, really layered guitars, at times reminiscent of Sonic Youth. But also, I would say, if you're into bands like Real Estate or Rolling Blackouts, Coastal Fever, even kind of like that, kind of really a lot of guitar interplay. It gets kind of jangly at times, but I would say its best moments are when it's kind of heavier and darker and more distorted and but a really fantastic record. Again, Unmade Beds by Deep Dyed. Sorry I don't have an actual physical copy of it, but I've loved it so much that I felt like I had to talk about it in this video and pop up this little silly picture here. That's it. I'm trying to make more videos. I've just got a lot of ideas and things that I kind of want to talk about, and just been hard to find the time to make them recently, but hoping I can find some more time here coming up. But anyway, again, hope everybody's doing well. We'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.
Digital gramophone makes no sense.